Let's do some calls of the day. As Wolf today says, the financial setup remains extremely strong. Now, they break it down, obviously. They're talking about the large financial institutions, banks, and private equity. They do note ahead of Apollo's earnings next week that the setup is not setting up well. Now, these stocks have gotten a huge boost, right? Right after the election, it was like, okay, private equity is the place you want to be.
100%. Yeah.
Animal spirits, deal making, exits, realizations, whatever you want to call it, is going to be good.
Yeah.
What do you think now?
All the below, right? I mean, we've talked about it ad nauseum. Obviously, these are the themes that have been playing out in the price action for last year and kind of coming into this year. So part of me is of the belief that, yes, it's run a lot up into the print. That's partly part of the reason for this call. But I don't think any of those themes let me say this. I do think all those themes will run true. I think capital markets will come back meaningfully this year. Net realizations will double this year. And I think fee-related earnings will also continue to grow. So I continue to like most of these names as well as Apollo.
There's a chart, right? This is the election bump.
100%.
Right? You go straight line, and then Trump gets reelected. You're like, okay, dereg, and you're going to have a better environment of deal making, pro-business. What about private equity stocks like this one?
You know, not involved. We've got our
Maybe
own
you should be.
private equity.
Well, you are. You know what? You are involved in Goldman, though. You put up a Goldman chart.
Goldman,
put up a Goldman chart. I'm sure it looks similar to that.
Coincidentally, I ran to David Solomon this past weekend, and we.
Sorry for him.
Did he run and go the other way?
I'm sorry for him, but
Soho.
did he know you were going to reveal that?
It was unfortunate for David, yes. But you know, the environment, I think, is going to be much better. We have a lot of direct holdings, so we'll benefit from that standpoint. But with Goldman, the reason why I choose Goldman, and I said this to David, is the culture. You've seen so many people leave, and yet the next person up is as good as the one that left. So you have that kind of culture where it's a performance culture and it's a quality culture, and that's what I bet on. Culture defines success or failure of any company, and man, do they have it, culture in spades. So that's why I own that.
Sometimes people say, you know, that your conversations are off the record. How do you know the citing and the physical reaction wasn't off the record as well? Maybe he didn't want anybody to know that he was with you.
That's an interesting point you make. Invalid, but interesting. It's true of many others, though, just not of him.
I couldn't resist. Caterpillar, price target trimmed to 390 from 414. That's at Melius. Jason, you own Cat.
So Cat had a really strong start last year and then kind of lost momentum towards the end of the year on the idea that sales volumes were slowing. But there has been some margin growth over the last 3 years, meaningfully at least. And what I continue to like about Caterpillar, they have a very strong balance sheet, a very strong, very strong team there. And I just think that with this onshoring and an industrial kind of feel, and that's in the market, I think Caterpillar can continue to be strong.
Datadog was downgraded today.
It sure was.
From buy to hold, price target to 140. We can see the stock, Joe. Fairly full valuation is what they say.
So the ETF owns this name in December, early December. It made the high. It's pulled back recently. I've bought the pullback personally. A little disappointed. I think I have to measure time here more than anything else because it does not look like it's participating in the software rally. Other names clearly working, Zoom working, Twilio working, Guidewire, DocuSign. The totality of software is a good environment, very resilient in the last couple of days, and this is actually having poor relative performance. That tells you something.
You want to hit Walmart real quick, which was reiterated by today at Goldman?
Another all-time high today.
That's ahead of earnings. The earnings are in later February.
Yeah, I mean, it's the economy of scale. They have the economy of scale. They're winning in grocery. They're winning on price. You know, people talk about the potential impact on consumer products if there are, in fact, tariffs. In that environment, Walmart will be able to judiciously manage their price. So it's been a core holding for an extended period of time.
On Walmart is their e-commerce efforts are really bearing fruit. And as I talk to people, I haven't talked to you about this, but that's what they're attracted to in the stock and driving it to new highs.
All right. Thank you.